Hello, everybody. I am Sean.
And I'm Amber.
And we are the couple that grills together. And today we are celebrating 26 years together, our 26th wedding anniversary. And we're very excited about it. We're going to have a little coffee, so cheers, Amber.
Cheers.
So we thought we would, if you've been married 26 years or longer, you've probably heard of the newlywed game. We thought we'd take some of those questions and just talk about some fun facts about us and some questions. Question each other a little bit later.
Yep.
See if
how well we know each other
after 26 years. But it's been a wonderful 26 years. We're going to have a wonderful romantic dinner tonight at home. We're going to have a Wagyu steak and some lobster tail with fondue for dessert. It's going to be great. We're looking forward to it. So Amber, let's get it rolling with the questions.
Okay, Sean. First question goes to you. How did we meet?
How did we meet? Well, I was a manager at Jiffy Lube. Amber's sister dated my roommate, and Amber, her sister brought Amber up to work one day, and that is how we met. She walked in, her sister brought her up there, Amber walked in, I was mean to her. She tried to be mean back to me, because, you know, being a little mean, giving her a little hard time, that paid off, obviously, because we've been together 26 years, so it paid off. But that's actually how we met. I knew her sister before I met her. We were good friends and still are. And yep, they came up to Jiffy Lube, and the rest is history from Jiffy Lube. Yes.
So that's one thing about us, is that Sean and I are very playful with each other. And yes, from the very beginning, we loved giving each other a hard time. And it's been a lot of fun.
Yes, it has.
So the next question is about our first date.
Our first date.
So
bet you Amber can cover that one.
I'll take that one. So after I had met Sean the week before at Jiffy Lube, my sister had commented to me that Sean had asked about me, which had really surprised me, that he had inquired about me. And so we went up to Sean's work again, because his roommate worked with him. And while we were there, Sean had asked if we wanted to come over and have pizza and watch a movie with them. And I had told him that he could take me to Red Lobster. And he said, again, with us giving each other a hard time, he said, Domino's pizza and a movie. Take it or leave it.
And I don't know if that was really giving her a hard time or just being honest.
So I took it. And so we went over to his house. We watched Days of Thunder and had Domino's pizza for dinner. And then at some point that evening, Sean, we were sitting on the couch and he looked over at me and he kissed me. And after he kissed me, he said, "I've been waiting all evening to do that." And I just thought that was the sweetest thing. And that was it for me. From that moment on, I think I was in love.
She knew she was in love. Yeah. What's the next one?
Okay, so who said I love you first?
I wish I could claim it was me.
I wish you could too.
But it wasn't. I think we both knew that we were wanting to say it, especially at that moment.
Yeah.
Who said it first and where were we at when it was said?
Gosh. So I was the one that said it first. And yes, so we both were to that point. And I mean, it was not very long after we had started dating. And we were going to meet my sister and her boyfriend for lunch. And, you know, it was just on my heart, and that I had to tell him I loved him. And I had never felt that way about someone before.
And she had upgraded from the Domino's.
Yeah, he was taking me to Chili's.
To Chili's.
And so I wanted to tell...
That's true love there.
I wanted to tell Sean I loved him so badly, but I was so nervous because I knew this was a make it or break it moment. If I told him and he didn't feel the same way, then it was going to be over. So I was really nervous, and so I kept trying to get the nerve up to tell him. We were in the car, and so I kept starting to tell him, and then I would back away. And so by this point, Sean knows exactly what's going on. And he gave me such a hard time. And
because I knew what she was going to say.
So instead of taking the pressure off of me and just going ahead and saying it himself, he really enjoyed seeing me squirm. And so finally, he was like, "You just need to come out and say it." So
say it already, girl.
Finally, I did. And then thankfully, he immediately told me that he loved me too. But I had so much writing on that, and I was extremely nervous. And Sean enjoyed every moment of watching me squirm, trying to get the nerve up to say it. But that's what makes our relationship so fun,
Yep.
is playing off of each other. Okay, so Sean, the first time you picked me up at my house, and my dad was waiting for you, what happened?
Oh, man. So the first time I go to pick her up at her house, and I know people have seen movies about this, and you wonder, does somebody really do something like that?
And there's a song about it.
Yes. But, so when I got at the house, and I walk in, he didn't answer the door. I believe your mom answered the door, or maybe you.
No, I answered the door.
Was it you? I know, because as I walk in, and that's right, because you went in there to introduce me to him.
Yeah.
And I walk back there, and he's sitting at the kitchen table, and he is sitting there cleaning. He's got the table full of all of his guns. And he is cleaning his guns. And there is no doubt that he is doing that on purpose from the get-go. And I knew that. But her dad, I love her dad. He's very unique, a very nice and gentle man, but he's very protective. And so when I went back there and met him for the first time, and he had those guns out like that, I knew why he was doing it. So it wasn't intimidating, but it did let me know that, hey, if I'm going to go down this road, I better keep it straight and narrow, because if not, I might get some buckshot in me or something. So, but that's just, like I said, yeah. If you ever wonder if that really happens, it happened with me. Walked in, her dad was cleaning all of his guns, making a point when I walked in there. Hey, you better keep it right, boy.
Yeah. Okay. So how did Sean propose to me?
I don't know. Yeah, I know.
So Sean proposing to me was not a surprise. We both knew that it was going to be coming.
Right. The surprise was when. The anticipation
Mm-hmm.
was getting to her big time.
So again, Sean loves seeing me squirm and stuff. So I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when or how it was going to come. So Sean was helping a friend out.
Yep.
That their family was having a Christmas party. And so Sean helped them out by agreeing to play Santa for the kids.
I played Santa Claus. Ho, ho, ho.
So I just knew that Sean was going to propose to me at that party while he was dressed as Santa.
And you could see it in her eyes. She was waiting.
Yep, that whole party I kept waiting.
Now that being said, I had no plans on asking her at that party, but you could see it in her face that she was waiting to see if it was going to happen.
Yep, I just knew it was going to happen at that party, and it didn't. I was so sad when that party ended, and I did not get a proposal. So it was like a week later, and it was Christmas Eve. Sean had picked me up, and we were going to be meeting his family at Olive Garden for dinner that evening. And then we were all going to stay at his parents' house Christmas Eve night so that we could celebrate Christmas first thing Christmas morning, all of us together. And his mama and papa had driven into town to celebrate Christmas Eve also. So Sean picks me up, takes me back to his apartment, and we're sitting on the couch, and he gives me this card. And I open it up, and I'm reading it, and it says, turn over. Well, that's what I read. And so I turn the card over, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, okay, it says Hallmark on it. And I am looking at him completely dumbfounded. He gets a look of panic on his face at this point because of the look I'm giving him is like, what's going on? Are you crazy? Because I can't figure out why he told me to turn this card over, and all it says is Hallmark on the back. So then he comes over and he grabs the card and he's looking at it, and then he realizes what I've done. He had written turn over and open. And so I didn't open it, I just turned it over because it was a multi-page card.
Yeah.
And so if I had followed his instructions, then when I would have opened it, I would have seen it said in huge letters, "Will you marry me?" So Sean opens the card up correctly, hands it back to me. And so I'm reading the "Will you marry me?" And while I'm doing that, Sean has gotten down on one knee. And so I look at him. He's sitting there with the ring. I'm crying. And he puts the ring on my finger. I never answered him. And so then he ends up asking me, he's like, "Well, you've not said anything." I said, "Well, I thought my tears probably gave the answer." So finally...
No, I gotta have voice consent on that, lady.
So finally I said yes. And so then that night we went to meet his family at Olive Garden. And that was how everybody found out. We didn't tell anybody. We were just waiting.
Nobody knew when I was going to do it.
We were just waiting for people to notice the ring. And gosh, we were probably 30 minutes into our meal before someone noticed. And I think it was your sister noticed the ring. And but that was it was a really great evening, and it's such a wonderful memory to this day.
Yes, it was.
So one last thing, Sean.
On the fun facts, What is it?
What would you say was the funniest moment on our honeymoon / wedding night?
Oh man. That's not even right to talk about. So, I worked very hard. Our wedding, we planned it. We paid for it. So I worked very hard. We went to Padre Island for our honeymoon, but we weren't leaving till the next day. So I was trying to pick a real nice place to stay the night before. And I found a place in Hot Springs, Arkansas, which if you've ever been to Arkansas, Hot Springs, Arkansas is one of the is just a beautiful place. A big old lake. And so I found a place that was right on the lake.
Lake Hamilton.
Yep, Lake Hamilton. And it was a nice
condo.
and it had a big jacuzzi tub.
Mhm.
So as we're eating dinner, I go ahead and start filling up the jacuzzi tub. Well, I can't lie. At that point in my life, I had been in a lot of jacuzzi tubs, and I was just excited that night, obviously, and for multiple reasons. And I guess I paid no attention and didn't know how much I should or should not put as far as bubbles.
You don't put any.
You obviously don't put bubbles in
a
the jacuzzi tub.
No bubbles, none.
I can tell you that firsthand. I've done it once, and I obviously won't be doing it. I haven't done it since. So we get to eat, and we walk into the bathroom to get the tub, and the tub's nowhere to be found.
You could barely make it into the bathroom.
You could barely make it in the bathroom because of all the bubbles. The bubbles had literally filled up the bathroom. You could not see the jacuzzi tub. You couldn't see anything.
They were almost up to the ceiling. The bathroom was nothing but bubbles.
Yeah.
You cannot put bubbles in a jacuzzi tub.
Lesson learned there. That was crazy. Yeah. That was hilarious, though. That's a great memory right there. To have a nice big jacuzzi tub and know you didn't even get to use it because I filled it up with bubbles.
26 years later, and we're still laughing about it.
Well, yes, we are.
And then this is a funny story, and it has nothing to do with you or I, but remember when we were leaving the church and we had gotten in the limousine and your brother was videotaping?
Oh, yeah, my brother's videotaping. He's videotaping because we had people, the way we did it is we gave little disposable cameras to people to take pictures, and then we had video cameras, 2 video cameras stationary. Then as we left, my brother was videotaping, and he's trying to get around everybody so he can get a shot of us in the limousine.
And he was walking on a little ledge.
Yeah, he was walking on the little rock thing that went along the steps. He didn't realize where he was at all. So
he walks right off.
He walks right off of it and falls down.
So when you see the video, it's all nice and going along just fine, and all of a sudden you just see someone obviously tumbling, and then he fell right onto
one of those
my pregnant sister-in-law.
Yeah. It's one of those moments that would have been great for America's Funniest Videos.
It would have.
It would have.
Okay, so that's a little bit about us, and
that's some fun facts about us.
The early days.
Now we're going to see if we know each other after 26 years.
Yep.
Which may be even funnier than some of those fun facts.
All right, Sean. What is your favorite, or what is my favorite color?
Amber's favorite color is definitely blue.
That's correct.
And I say that, and I know that there's lots of things that we know about each other, not because Amber's sister says, hey, my favorite color is blue. But I know it's her favorite color because she loves the color blue on me.
I do. Yeah.
And she always talks about that.
Mm-hmm.
There's not like, well, I say that in our logo we have blues. And she does like the blue colors of the ocean and stuff, but that's the biggest reason why I know that her favorite color is blue, is because she really likes it on me.
Yeah. Sean's favorite color.
This is going to be a good one, because here's the thing about my favorite color. I didn't even realize it was my favorite color for the longest time. What is it?
It's a little embarrassing to admit, but his favorite color is purple.
Purple. It is. I can't explain it. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I can tell you.
It's not like he buys stuff that's purple.
No,
it's not like he wears stuff that's purple.
But I do like the color.
For some reason, he loves the color purple.
And I don't know if it's, we joke about the fact that it may stem from the fact that when we lived in Florida the first time, I was a bus driver out at Disney for 5 years. And our colors were the same as back then is the trash cans.
Yep.
And so our pants were purple, our shirts were purple, white, and yellow.
It used to be so embarrassing because, of course, I don't know how Disney is now, but back when he worked there, you weren't allowed to wear your costume out in public.
Right.
So even though and they call all the uniforms costumes. So even though it wasn't technically like, quote, a character costume or something, he could not wear it out in public. So if we wanted to maybe go have lunch before he went to work, he would...
I'd wear my purple pants and a different shirt.
Pants and a different shirt.
Yeah.
And I would tell Sean, this is so embarrassing because people are going to think that you really thought those purple pants were something
they were snazzy,
to
let me
wear
tell you,
out
man.
in public.
I liked them.
All right. So next, what is my favorite meal?
Amber's favorite meal. Oh, why do I have to go first? Amber's favorite meal is actually what we're going to have tonight for dinner.
Yeah.
Hands down. Steak and lobster. If I can give her steak and lobster, so she's upgraded a lot from that Domino's that first date.
See, don't let him fool you. Yep.
She's upgraded a lot. She is a steak and lobster kind of girl. Now that being said, I give her credit. It's not like she hounds me about it nonstop, but that is her hands down her favorite meal, and that's one of the reasons why we're having it tonight. I mean, I love steak and lobster too.
You get bonus points if you can guess what kind of steak is my favorite. What kind of steak?
Her favorite steak is the ribeye.
That's right.
Yeah, she loves the ribeye.
Yeah.
Now that's not what we're not having ribeye tonight.
Yeah. That's
is it? Oh, it is a Wagyu ribeye. Yeah.
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 Which that is my favorite. Which we don't really have ribeyes hardly ever anymore because of the calories. So my next favorite would be a filet, which that's when we have steak these days. That's what we typically have. But for a special occasion, we get to have the ribeye, and I'm very excited about that. Now, Sean's favorite meal is lasagna. Hands down, he loves lasagna.
Lasagna, but it's more importantly, my favorite is Amber's lasagna.
Yeah, he loves my lasagna. And so I don't make it very often because it's expensive to make. But he loves my lasagna, and my lasagna is always like this really, really thick.
I can't wait. Now that we're doing all this grilling, I can't wait for her to make it and we smoke it. Smoke the meat, and then put it all together and put it on the smoker to cook it. That's going to be good stuff.
Coming to a video soon.
Yeah.
Smoked lasagna.
That's right.
Okay, so perfect vacation.
Perfect vacation for Amber. There's no doubt it's any vacation with her kids, which her kids are our furry Boston Terriers. Those are our kids.
Yeah.
But her favorite one, which would probably be mine too.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There's a place in Asheville, North Carolina, and it's called Barkwell's, and we've been there.
We've only been there once.
Well, we've only been there once, even though it feels like we've been there a few times.
Yeah, but then our 25th anniversary, we had reserved to go there. We had
reserved to go there, but because of COVID and everything, they ended up closing, and we didn't get to go. They are now officially back open. I saw the other day. But it's a nice little quiet place. They got, I think, like 7 cabins, and it's around a decent sized pond, but it's very nice and quiet.
I think it's 8 acres.
Yeah. Every cabin has a fenced in yard, so you can have your dogs out in the yard. Then they can run, you can let them out of the yard and they can run around the pond and stuff, which is real neat. Molly and Mickey loved it. We will definitely be going back. It's definitely a place that we will stay at again, even though we've only been the one time, even though it feels like it's been more than that.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth it. And I know that's probably both of our favorite vacations because, yes, our kids, our Boston Terriers, they go everywhere with us.
Yeah.
If I go to the grocery store, Amber stays home with them, or if they all go with me, Amber stays in the car with them. We do not. They go everywhere, plain and simple. If we go out to eat, which with all the grilling and stuff we do now, we don't really go out that much. But if we go out to eat, we find a restaurant that will allow puppies on the patio, and that's where we go.
Yep. And so yeah, my answer would be Sean's favorite vacation would be the same thing, or somewhere secluded out in the woods.
Yeah.
Like a cabin or something where we can just get away from everything and enjoy the peacefulness, the quiet of nature. And I think the reason why it feels like we've been to Barkwell so many times is just because that vacation was perfect. All right, so next is favorite candy. So what's my favorite candy?
Favorite candy? Why does it seem like I'm going first on all these? Amber's favorite candy. Well, she's kind of got two, and I say that because it depends on the season. Her favorite candy, and I say this, we really don't eat candy much anymore either. But she loves Reese's peanut butter cups. Yeah. That's her favorite, hands down. Just
that was my
regular Reese's peanut butter cup. That was her go-to thing for years.
Yeah, pre-Noom.
Yes.
Reese's peanut butter cups.
And now that being said, come Christmas time, which this is a candy she still gets, we just buy the smaller box. Yeah. But the chocolate-covered cherries by
Celos or Celos?
Celos, I believe. But she loves those.
Those things are so great. And they're not the ones that have the cream in the middle. I don't like those. These just have a juicy center. They have juice around the cherry, between the chocolate and the cherry. They are hands down the best cherries. Oh my gosh, I love those things. And so since we've done Noom, we don't put candy in our stockings anymore. No. Except that's the one candy I'll allow myself in my stocking is my cherries.
All right, so my favorite candy will probably be two also. One that's seasonal. Well, actually, I guess they're both seasonal. Mm-hmm. But one that, what would it be, Em?
Okay, so his favorite candy is sweet tart jelly beans, which are available at Easter.
Love them. They're only there at Easter. And let me tell you, since Easter wasn't too long ago, it was hard walking in the store and seeing those out for display and passing them up. Because this is the second year where I have not actually bought any.
Yep.
And so, it was kind of rough on me, let me tell you. I was shaking when I walked by them. Whoa.
Very proud of him. Because he's not had them since Noom. But he loves his sweet tart jelly beans. That's his favorite candy, even though it's only available one time a year. That's his favorite candy. His favorite seasonal candy because it's not his favorite candy, he can have it any time of the year. It's just he wants them at this one particular time, and that is peanut M&Ms, and he has to have them in his Christmas stocking.
Yes. And don't go cheap on me either. Don't give me no little old bag of peanut M&Ms.
He has to have the party,
the big bag. Yeah. And I'm guessing that is because I just remember that growing up that I always got peanut M&Ms in my stocking at Christmas time. So I've always that's what I ask Santa for every year is peanut M&Ms, and I ask him for the big bag. Don't go cheap on me, Santa. I want the big bag.
Yeah. If you try to give him a little bag,
I'll throw it at you.
He would. He would throw it at you. So, next question. What is the best gift that I've given you?
The best gift, and here I go first again, huh? The best gift that Amber's ever given me, hands down, is something I use every day, especially considering how cold Amber keeps it in the apartment. It is something I use every day, and it is a quilt that she made for me last Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I got it last Christmas, but it's based around the movie Up from Pixar. She did an excellent job. We'll have to show it to you guys someday, but it is, or maybe I can throw a picture in there now and show it, but she did a beautiful job, and it was made a lot of hard work. I saw all the hard work that went into it, and even a little blood went into it.
I used to have embroidery machines. I recently sold my embroidery machines, but I always laughed because when I would give someone a present that I made for them that was embroidery, I'd always tell them that my blood, sweat, and tears literally went into it, because it was like I could not make a project without cutting myself at least one time during the completion of the project, and I cut myself more than once on Sean's quilt.
And what's the best gift I've given you?
Best gift that Sean's given me was in 1998 on December 30th, and that was my baby girl, Belle. Belle was our very first Boston Terrier that we had, and we worked that day. We lived in St. Louis. We worked that day, and we were going to go pick Belle up that evening when we got off work.
But it started snowing.
Yep,
There was bad weather moving in.
Yep, it started snowing, and it was going to be a bad snowstorm. And so Sean told me, he was like, we might not get to go get her. And I couldn't bear the thought of not getting my baby that day. So Sean said, well, I could go ahead and go and pick her up.
She gave me wrong directions, by the way.
So this was in 1998. So this was before the days of GPS and all that good stuff. And so I had told him that it was only going to be about 30 minutes from the house. So even on a good day, I was wrong about how far away it was.
By about an hour.
And then whenever you take into account that it wasn't a snowstorm, it
ended
up being an ice storm.
Yeah.
And so Sean had to drive in the ice to go pick up baby girl. And it was worth every bit of it.
Yes, it was.
So thankful that he did that, because it ended up taking several hours.
Oh, yeah. I didn't get back till late at night.
Yeah, and he had left that day probably around lunchtime. And he did not get home until about 9 o'clock with Belle.
Well, the storm was so bad, we actually lived in downtown St. Louis, just a couple blocks down from the Arch. And that storm ended up being so bad that whole week, downtown St. Louis was just closed. The ice was so bad they couldn't even break it up.
And but I'll never forget when he came in and he had Belle in a crate, and I got to see my baby girl for the very first time.
Yeah.
She was the second love of my life. Sean's the first, and then Belle was the second, and then all my kids since then are the loves of my life.
Sorry about that phone call.
But Belle was the one that started it all, and she was the very best present that Sean's ever given me.
All right, so we are the couple that grills together, so we can't end this without one more question that actually has to do with grilling. And what would that question be, Amber?
What's your favorite? What is my favorite kind of sauce?
As far as
Barbecue
sweet,
sauce.
yeah, as far as sweet or spicy is what we're talking about. So Amber's favorite kind of sauce is, no doubt, she likes sauce that is more spicy.
Not hot.
Yeah, not hot spicy, but just has more spice to it. She loves the vinegar sauce is the best.
Yeah.
She loves those. We've been opposite almost, because what's my favorite?
Sean's favorite is sweet.
Yes. We've been opposite from the get-go. Now, as we've grown, especially through all the grilling, we have tried different things and realized I enjoy more of the spiciness if I can still have sweet, and Amber enjoys the sweetness as long as she can still have some spice to it.
Yeah. I've brought Sean over to the spicy side of things.
Yes, I do really like a lot more of the vinegar sauces now.
And I'll like a sweet sauce, but it does have to have some spice to it. I'm still not a fan of just a sweet sauce. It's got to have a little bit of spice to it also.
Yeah, it's got to have a little kick to it. It can't just be all sweetness.
But my favorite kind of sauce is a vinegar-based sauce. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love vinegar-based sauces.
Yes, it is. On that note, so we're having Wagyu steak tonight. We're having
smoked
lobster tail and fondue for dessert.
And it's going to be chocolate and, of course, peanut butter fondue.
Chocolate peanut butter, yeah. So, it's been a wonderful 26 years. The next 26 years and more are going to be just as wonderful. And I'm very much looking forward to it, Amber.
Me too. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Amber.
All the love through these years, and I look forward to many more.
Many more years. Yes, we do. So it's about time to get that grill going and everything so we can have our anniversary dinner tonight. And everybody out there have a wonderful time. And
thanks for joining us.
Yes,
this has been a lot of fun.
We really appreciate it. It was nice getting to talk about the memories for the last 26 years. But now it's time to get that anniversary dinner going so we can sit down and enjoy it, because everything's better together. Come over there and get a kiss. I love you. That's smacking good. Yeah.
Still dorky.
I love that laugh.
26 years.
Love that laugh.